What shall we talk about?
Hey everybody, welcome to Example of Play. It's March 8th, it's time for another strategy gaming news roundup. I haven't done one of these in a few weeks, various reasons for that, but I want to get back into the swing of it this week. And I don't have any huge announcements, but I got a few cool things to talk about. The first of them is that for the Command & Conquer series, we got some cool news out of EA. There's not a new game announced or anything like that, but they have gone and released the source code for a bunch of the older Command & Conquer games, as well as adding some modding and Steam Workshop support for some of the other ones. If you go to the Electronic Arts GitHub page, you can now get the open source code for Generals, Renegade, Red Alert, and the original Tiberian Dawn. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything to you if you're not like a modder or someone who can get in there and code and play around with the files, but it means that we could see like fan remasters or custom campaigns, mods, lots of stuff for these older games, because now this is like totally open source. Fans can do whatever they want with it. It's pretty cool to see from EA, a big giant corporation. They're not going to make any money off of this. They're basically just letting the players have free reign over some classic games. They also added Steam Workshop support for some of the newer ones, so that you can go in there and hopefully players can make some mods, make some custom levels, or do whatever they want for some of those newer games as well. And I think that's cool. I would like to see more of the big companies doing this for some of the classics, because otherwise this keeps the game alive forever. Because basically, if the fans have the source code, they can go in, they can keep it, they can update the original game, like new versions of Windows come along and things. The fans are able to keep things up to date if they want to, which for Command & Conquer series, there's a lot of fans that are going to be out there for a long time. And then just on the side of that, if you haven't bought it, I highly recommend the Command & Conquer Remaster Collection. It's on sale right now. It's only $6. This has the original Command & Conquer and Red Alert and all of their expansion packs. But more than that, it's remastered where it plays exactly the same, but it looks great. You can go and watch like outtakes and extra takes from all the different little cutscenes and things, with the characters, the human live actors talking and all that. And it has just like fully multiplayer support, everything. It's a great remaster of some classic games. I hope they throw some more of those out there. And then also, if you haven't, there's been many versions of this over the years, but the Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection, it's $6. These aren't remasters. These are like the original versions. But basically, it's like every Command & Conquer game for $6. If you haven't played these, they're classics. They're great. And I highly recommend picking those up. And but yeah, kudos to EA for releasing the source code, because I think that's really cool. Hope we see it from more big companies, letting the players have control and ownership of some of these classic games. All right, so next up we have an announcement of an announcement. So for Burden of Command, the World War II tactical leadership RPG is what it calls itself. They've announced that in a few days. They've put out these little teaser videos on March 11th. We'll find out when the release date is going to be. And this is actually pretty exciting, because this is a game that's been in development for such a long time. From the time I first heard about it and then until now, there were points where I thought it had gone away, that it turned into vaporware, that it was never coming out. But it is coming out, and there's actually a demo. You can play it yourself right now. I did a video on it. It's a really unique experience. I think anyone who's like a war gamer or a strategy gamer who wants a little more story, a little more narrative in their game should absolutely try this game out, because while it plays like a traditional text encounter type war game in a lot of ways, every move is kind of part of the story. You're constantly balancing the mission versus the lives of your men, because these are squads and leaders and officers that you'll go through like an extensive boot camp with, where you get to know them all. You make decisions like big and small things, like, hey, do we press on the next training zone? Do we let the men rest for a few minutes? Little choices like that. And basically they all build to what your relationship is with the men you're leading. And then whenever you get into combat, do they trust you? If you give them an order, are they going to follow it? Like, it matters. Everything matters as the story goes along. And so I'm really excited about this game. I'll definitely be covering it more when it comes out, because it's going to play through the whole war and follow this company of men that you're part of, like through the entire war, and have all these characters and choices. I think it's going to be really cool to play it out and see how it is. So on March 11th, we will get the actual release date, and I'm looking forward to that. Right now, I also want to talk about this kind of shout out to just a cool game I've been playing in the past. I'm going to try it again with this big update it got. So Infection Free Zone just got a big major update that added a lot of stuff to the game. This, if you haven't seen it before, it is the strategy zombie survival game where you're building like a little colony, a settlement to try to survive in the zombie apocalypse. But the cool thing that really makes the game unique is that the maps are generated based on like Google image data of real places. So you can pick anywhere in the world, basically, and you can pick your hometown, you can pick your neighborhood, whatever you want. And it'll actually make the map. All the little buildings and streets and things will come from that map data. And then you try to build a settlement to survive the zombie apocalypse in somewhere that you're familiar with, or just somewhere interesting. And you'll have, sometimes it'll even like name some of the locations that it pulls from the data, like a school or library, stuff like that, will be named on the map. So it's pretty cool. This update brings with it basically terrain. So before everything was perfectly flat, and now there'll be elevations to the terrain, which will be interesting to see, just to make it more visually interesting. And then some other things. So to kind of showcase that, there's a couple of pre-made maps like San Francisco that's already selected out, famously hilly, to show that off. They added more events to the game. They added a car workshop where you can customize vehicles, and then a bunch of other new buildings, balance changes. Just a pretty big update to it. So I did a video on it a long time ago. I might go back and do a little more playthrough of it, because this is a really fun game. If you haven't seen it before, if you're into zombie survival stuff, it's pretty fun to set up in your hometown or your own neighborhood and like build something on your real house in the game. So if you haven't ever seen this game before, a neat idea. Recommend checking it out. And it has a demo also, so you can try it before you buy it. And then final thing for today is just kind of taking a moment to celebrate for myself, I guess, that I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So for the channel, we're at 1,006 now. I hit it yesterday, and basically that's a big milestone, because between that and then the watch hour, so how much people have already watched the channel, I've now qualified to be monetized on YouTube. So I never like made this channel with the intention of making money off of it. I never expected to get to 1,000 subscribers. So it's pretty exciting. It makes me feel good. Like my videos, especially the tutorials, I get so many great comments from you guys saying how they help you. And that's why why I do it, is seeing people say, I learned how to play this game, so watch your video. That's my favorite part of doing these videos, and just kind of a creative outlet to play the things I like and share it with other people. And so I really appreciate everyone who's hit subscribe and watched the videos, liked and commented, all the things. I want to keep making the videos, and so far you can see no money's coming in so far. It takes a couple days before it starts calculating. I don't expect it to be a whole lot, but maybe enough to buy an extra game every month with a little something from the side hustle. It's just exciting. It's fun. And but I'm going to keep making the videos just like I have been. I just finished the big tutorial series for Campaign Series Vietnam. That was one of my favorite things I've done so far, because that was a game I had looked at before and didn't know if I could learn how to play it. But then the process of making those videos and kind of just stepping through things one at a time, it helps me learn how to play a lot of these games. Like I feel so much better about how to play so much stuff just by creating the video. It's kind of like the best way to learn something is to teach it to someone else. So I planning to keep making these videos, at least, one or two a week for sure, maybe more, depending on how much free time I have. I have a full-time regular job that keeps me busy, so otherwise I'd make way more videos. But I have some cool stuff in the pipeline coming up. There's so many great games coming. I've got one I just got that I can't tell you what it is yet, but you'll see soon. And I think a lot of people will be excited about it. And then just there's so much stuff out there. There's always another video to make, another game to talk about, another tutorial video to create to help people learn how to play. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed again, and hang around, keep watching, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time with some more strategy gaming.